That is some crazy good art.
It's so good, Len.
Love it.
Oh, thank you. Hey, I'm going to log off for a second
because I was buying it as
you
you
guys
were
are
talking.
sounding a little bit froggy to me. So
Okay.
I'm gonna drop out and then come back.
See you in a minute.
Shibbit.
Like pants wearing froggy.
Shibbit.
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 Shibbit. I'll huff. All right, wait. All right, I'll get a title and then I have a question, okay?
Yeah. What do we got for titles?
I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll hack your SHA-1 cert
Much better.
Wow.
down. SHAnanigans.
I kind of like
Pretty
that.
good. Begun the drone
Hoverboards don't
wars
fly.
have.
That's cute.
No more begun the what's
Yeah.
have. That's just, you could submit them, but I'm just
Yeah.
not gonna ever use that. We've used that too much.
Um,
Don't mean to be a downer.
drone on drone violence.
Hoverboards
drone
don't fly.
busters. Yeah.
I swear, as God is my witness, I thought hoverboards could fly. I think SHAnanigans.
SHAnanigans, I think so. Okay, which is great because that leads me to my next
Oh, TRS Haiti.
Darren, this question is for
Cal,
you.
come
so
on. I'm loving on the TRS.
I'll just sit here.
Sorry, I'm
Darren,
sorry.
Darren
Yes.
Kitchen, focus in
Yes.
because I have a question.
Hit me.
I don't know what a SHA certificate is, and so you guys had this whole great discussion, and I was sitting there not knowing what the hell you were talking about.
Okay.
Could someone just simply explain it to me in a sentence so that I may now go back and place that whole conversation in perspective?
I'm trying to find an analogy to certificate signing that doesn't
It's
include
essentially
wax
it's
and
essentially the
stamps.
encryption on the certificate that proves that a website is who it says it is. It's what
So
causes the little lock to
Yeah.
happen.
Okay, I get you.
Wait,
so I
wait,
send
one
you.
person at a time because I would really like to understand. So first Tom, and then Darren. So it is so if I may regurgitate what Tom said correctly, it is the encryption on the certificate. It creates the action that creates that little lock when you get an HTTPS site.
No, that is not right. But I'm giving you the broadest brush to understand. It is the encryption that causes the certificate to be trusted, so that you know you're visiting the right site. And Darren can answer your questions about how that works.
So,
Well,
so
I don't. Yeah,
But
I just
it's
needed an
encryption. If
overview.
I'm trying to give you the other direction understanding, which is when I go to a website, I want to make sure that's really the website. And the way they do that is there's a certificate, and there's encryption on the certificate to make sure it's not spoofed. And SHA-1 is the kind of encryption.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you,
Yeah.
Darren. Anything to add?
I'm in 16th century London, and I'm sending you a letter, and you're assuming it's from me, but the only way that you know to tell is because of the wax seal on it is embossed with my magic decoder ring that I wear, which is very intricate, and only I would have such an intricate ring. But it turns out the intricate rings we were using before were kind of flimsy, and anybody could kind of make one that looked close enough. And there should only ever be one unique ring for everyone, except there's these things called collisions where you can make another one that looks almost identical, or it is
Right.
in some ways. So we made the rings way more intricate so that the possibility of two rings being identical are like snowflakes.
Okay, and so the SHA-2 is the attempt to make it really as
Intricate.
close to possible. Really intricate.
Seals on the letters so that it doesn't do anything but prove that it came from me.
Right.
Yes.
Okay,
The
that makes
encrypted
total
stuff
sense.
is a separate thing, but you see it and you're like, oh, that's Darren's seal.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of people in Nigeria who say, we can't afford these new rings. And then the post office is saying, well, then you can't get the letters.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that sounds
Very
unfair.
And it's
Oh,
not
I
just
like that,
Nigeria.
actually.
I just picked Nigeria. as an
Yeah.
example.
That's pretty good. And then there's some other people in Nigeria who are trying to craft rings that look identical to my SHA-1 ring, which is why we're in this whole ordeal.
That's a really good metaphor. I like that.
See? That's what I was missing as your designated Daily Tech News show, Normal.
Normal.
That's what escaped me in your very erudite discussion of SHA-1 and SHA-2 certificates.
I think I'm going to blame the latest Assassin's Creed for the reference. Although that wasn't 16th century London, was it?
Well, at some point it was, right?
Yeah.
In all those Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah.
And SHA stands for what?
Oh, that's a good one. Secure hashing algorithm. Wow, are you kidding me? Okay, wow, it's secure hash algorithm.
Okay.
And so the other algorithms that we've used in the past include MD5, SHA0, SHA1, which all of which have found collisions where where you can duplicate a unique snowflake.
Okay.
SHA2 and SHA3 are all unique so far.
Okay.
It's a one-way thing where you put. Hang on, how do I describe this? I take something big and complex and I run it through this algorithm and I get something unique. And so that unique thing proves what the original thing was. If I'm able to then take something different and get the same resulting code out of
then
it,
it's not really
then
unique.
we've got two giant unique things that have the same code, and that's no good.
Right.
And
Okay.
that would be considered a collision. So
now,
like,
do those
people
happen
with
by
the same
accident,
code
or do you really have to work at it?
what did we say? $700,000 worth of hacking?
That's
Like
the estimate right now, and that by 2020 it'll come down to 43,000. So a motivated, organized crime or a state actor could conceivably make it happen. There's also the difference between this is how much computer power would cost to do it and actually pulling it off.
Right.
It's not like you just write a check and it's like done. We've broken the encryption.
Mm-hmm.
Like you still have to have the skills too.
Okay, but the people who would likely be able to purchase the skills or acquire the skills and have the motivation to carry it through are probably not the people you want to be able to do it.
Right, but essentially, given enough time, this will be something that you can, crack like a WPA key with a powerful graphics card.
Yeah.
On just a standard.
The more important point is that the costs are coming down, and what you want to prevent is people doing it. Right now, it's cost prohibitive to do it, and it's questionable if even the people who have $700,000 would consider it money well spent right now. It all depends.
You only have to buy a
$700,000
computer once, though.
What you're trying to prevent is us still using SHA-1 at the point where the cost has come down that lots of people can give it a shot for whatever reason comes into their head.
Okay, that makes so much sense. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's the thing with all of this encryption stuff is it's all based on factoring prime numbers. And so as computers get faster, it gets easier to crack this stuff. So the stuff that was, invented 30 years ago is trivial now. The stuff that was invented 20 years ago is becoming available today. And the stuff we're inventing today hopefully will have like another 20-year lifespan. But this is the thing, is ultimately the new hotness today, SHA-2, will eventually be broken. And then at that point, we'll have the same problem again. And then somebody's going to say, well, let's have an intermediate solution where we still serve up SHA-2 for those people, but everybody else we give them SHA-3.
Tinvec's asking about the Bitcoin ASIC and the fact that it processes SHA-256 at crazy rates. But I think that's just processing the hashes, not actually breaking the hashes, right? Yeah,
and then, well, you could do a time memory trade-off attack, but you'd need very, very big hard drives. So that's not really feasible.
And Tinvec, I think Darren just answered that question that you just typed.
I mean, all of this stuff is theoretically possible with enough monkeys and typewriters.
Well, and that's what all of security is about, which is what Darren and I were arguing about in that headline discussion, which is
how secure is your website? Well,
it's not about whether something can be broken, and it's not about when it'll be broken.
Mm-hmm.
It's about when is the right time to worry about it.
Until quantum computers, in which case, screw it. It's all done.
Well, but they're only good for certain things, like breaking encryption.
Breaking encryption. It's funny that the NSA has been spending, what was it, $73 million?
No, NASA.
Was it? No. This
Different
is a
NSA.
Snowden leak from last year.
You can't
The
spell
NSA
NASA
planned
without
that-
NSA, Darren.
What?
Ah!
What?
Oh
Did I
my
say
God.
the magic word?
You must have been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I haven't been.
Oh.
I'm behind.
Yeah, I forget the name of the. Oh, there we go. January 2014 article in the Washington Post. $79.7 million research program titled "Penetrating Hard Targets," which is, this was a Edward Snowden leak about the NSA spending buku bucks on developing a quantum computer because it would just you would just feed it encryption and it would spit out keys, basically.
They bought a
Because
D-Wave? I mean, thing is about that one doesn't really impress me as a leak very much because NASA bought a D-Wave with Google and have been trying to do the same thing in public. So it's like, well, yeah, of course the NSA is doing it too.
Is a D-Wave really? Is a D-Wave $79 million?
I don't know, it's pretty pricey. Probably not, though. You're right.
Yeah, I was just gonna get one for the warehouse, but I'm joking.
Well, the hack all our
is,
keys.
if you get really expensive computer, you have to be very smart to figure out how to make it do anything useful. It's like a PDP-11. You're like, oh, cool! I flipped switches and I got lights to blink. How work?
Now, break encryption. Why isn't it doing it?
Yeah.
Is
that a 1 or a 0? It's both. Wait, damn it! Just looked at it.
Okay, this is good. Now I get it.
Next up on quantum entanglement for newbies. No.
I'm actually more comfortable with the understanding of quantum states than I am with math. So go figure. I mean, I couldn't actually mathematically get you to understand a quantum state, but I like the physics of it.
Yeah, as I said on a ThreatWire recently, let's not ban math.
Yeah. I have a brain that's terrible at math, but great at statistics. So go figure.
What is this, Obi-Wan? Oh!
Click on the link.
Oh, Len's in Slack now.
I think he figured out what Slack's actually for.
He really did, actually.
Yeah.
It's just sharing silly things.
Read the.
This is why we have a general channel on the Hack 5 Slack.
Okay, yeah, now we need to teach Len to use the general channel.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I just put it wherever I put it.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's
gosh. I
David.
love fake Star Wars toys. Obi-Wan.
Dennis.
R2-3PO? And he's like got R2 colors and looks kind of like 3PO.
Flygon Jin.
Oh, the Anakin that's a little girl.
I love Dennis.
Flygon Jin is the best. Little girl. Little girl.
And Dennis. I
Dennis.
totally want Dennis. I want to own that.
Photoshops. Please tell me those are just Photoshop.
I don't think so. These are real.
All right, you got to put this in the chat room, too.
All right,
It
let
has
me
to go in chat.
put that in the chat too.
Oh.
Oh, my gosh.
There we go.
It's so good.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Hilarious.
it keeps going. Mace.
Oh, there's more. Oh, there's more.
Mace.
What?
What?
The Emperor Daft Serious. Upright Slug.
I think these are
Conan.
photoshopped. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, man.
Just what? For Watto?
Uh,
Glorious Star-Lord.
oh my gosh.
I really hope these are Photoshops.
Let's see what they say. Daily Mail is pretty. They usually have good stuff. Wholesale trader Carl
Here's the
Baxter
thing,
ordered.
I think I might want to buy one of these if it's real.
Oh, I want Dennis. I absolutely want Dennis.
Yeah, these are probably worth more than the originals.
Yeah.
No, right? Yeah, listen to that, George. Oh wait, no, not you anymore. Who's still got the toy rights? It's
Disney.
Disney, right? They got the toy
So
rights.
Lucas finally sold those rights, huh?
Well, Lucasfilm owns or Lucas Arts or whatever. Lucasfilm Limited owns the rights. And then Disney
this
bought
is,
Lucasfilm.
This is real. This is real. He ordered like a discount batch of toys,
Oh my God,
and this is what came.
that is so fantastic.
Toby won.
It's pretty good.
The only thing better would be if it was Toblerone and he had, like, instead of a lightsaber, a giant Toblerone.
A little breakable chocolate.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Very good. Well, by this time next week, Tom, you would have seen this movie, and we will have to talk.
And I'll tell
a little
you
bit about it,
whether
it's worth it.
Flygon Jin makes an appearance.
Flygon Jin. These are the secrets. These are the big spoilers.
These are the one droid you're looking for, R2-3PO.
That's the big reveal, is that Darth Maul comes back as Dennis.
It's Dennis. I am Dennis, son of Darth Maul.
Upright
Those
slug.
mock-ups, right? Those aren't official toys.
No, they aren't official.
Are
Because
they?
I have a couple of Lego toys that say S-Force, which is a combination of Star Trek and Star Wars, and little figurines. It's hilarious. It's what happens is a lot of the companies that make the toys, oftentimes their molds get copied, and then some third manufacturer makes these toys, and it's like, well, we don't own the license to the official property, so we'll make something very similar. And they'll call it Star Force instead of Star Wars. And then it's exactly. But you can tell by the molds that they've been copied because the actual figures themselves are shown blunt in detail.
Blurp.
I'm out of the post. And we're out of
Oh, did we choose a
Star Wars
title?
toys. Yeah, SHAnanigans.
Yeah. Shannon always likes that one.
I bet she does. But she's up to some SHAnanigans
Mm-hmm.
sometimes.
Snubs Nanigans.
Snubs-nanigans. Well, thanks, everybody.
Yes, I'm going to go to.
I'm going to go buy Dennis.
I'm going to go get Dennis too.